Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Kpsn. Close to 100 countries are currently competing at the Winter Olympics in Beijing with nearly 3,000 athletes representing them. A total of 109 events will be held in 15 disciplines across 7 sports. And here in the US, fans are gearing up for Super Bowl 56. There's a fierce sense of competition in the air everywhere you look. Our winter athletes will surely get the energy and inspiration from all the hype as they power through to the end of their seasons. The boys wrestling team finished last week with a big trifecta meet at home. Taking first place and absolutely dominating, our Warrior team is prepared for sectionals this upcoming weekend with everything on the line. It's win or go home, and the team has upped the intensity at practice to make sure they are both physically and mentally prepared. Captains Dan Ninevies, Hunter Hastings, Will Conniff, and Sanda Badges are all looking to advance to states to wrestle on the big stage.
The team went 3-0. I personally went 3-0, 3 pins, and it's a pretty light day. I did my own job and wrestled tough. We got sectionals. I think the team is going to do really well. I think we got some good guys, top level guys that can advance to states and do good at states as well. I think I'm hoping to win it all this year. Hopefully I can.
This weekend we went 3-0, destroying teams including Walpole, Hanover, and Canton. Kids stepped up for the team, including Loden Wells, freshman, went 3-0 with a couple pins. In our season we finished 16-5, which was one of our goals in the beginning of the season.
Upcoming this weekend, we have the Sectional Tournament, which will put us into the state tournament. It's a big tournament. We got 14 guys going in there. I'm thinking only 4 or 5 are going to be coming out, so we're going to be practicing hard this weekend, just preparing for it.
The team is coming into a high-stakes arena with a lot of respect for their competitors, pride of their accomplishments, and confidence in their craft. After multiple hard-fought battles, our girls basketball team finds themselves at 500 with a record of 7-7. The defense has been a strong suit as they've been able to hold their last 4 opponents to under 50 points. Junior center Emily Sawyer has also been another bright spot for the team as she leads the team, averaging 10.4 points per game and constantly filling up the stat sheet. The girls will take on Milford tomorrow at home at 6 p.m.
So currently we stand at a 6-5 record. We started off really strong with 5-1, and then we kind of hit a little bump in the road as we lost 5 straight, but really came back with a big win against Taunton on Saturday.
We have a big game against Milford on Friday. It's also a senior night. We're looking for a win to make sure that we get playoffs for the end of the season.
On Monday, the boys basketball team faced one of their toughest opponents in the Hawk and even in the state, the Mansfield Hornets. Although it was a rough loss for the boys, they put up a great fight to keep it even most of the way. The team exploded for 27 points in the second quarter to seize a halftime lead, but Mansfield responded with 20 points in each of the third and fourth quarters to get the win. Freshman Tommy Kilroy scored 11 points in the second, which helped spark a huge run going into half. Will LaPlante added 15 points, while both Grant Kinney and Tommy Moderato had 11 points apiece for KP. The boys have had a rough season so far, but look to pick it up tonight at Milford. The boys narrowly beat them in their first meeting of the season at home and are hoping to take this winning show on the road. This past weekend, the boys and girls indoor track teams traveled to the Reggie Lewis Center in Boston to compete in their Hakamak Championship meets. Some outstanding performances to mention include Noah Hurd, who received first place in the 1,000-meter race and also second place in the 4x400 relay team alongside Nate Gebhardt, Colin Mahoney, and Luca Gardine. For the girls, Grace Lawler placed 3rd overall in the 55-meter dash, and the girls shot put team once again put up a stellar performance, placing 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the Hawk. This weekend, the team will travel to the Reggie Lewis Center once again to compete in their last chance meet to qualify for divisionals.
Alright, so last Sunday we had our Hawk Championship meet. I ran the 4x8. We were seated 3rd in the Hawk and we ended up placing 2nd. Me personally, I ran the 3rd leg. I ran a 2:11, which is pretty good for me. It was the first time I ever ran the 800.
So at Hawks, I ran the 1,000-meter. I knew going in that I was the number 1 seed with a 2:41, but I couldn't count out my other competitors. I just had to focus on what I could do personally. I knew my training was good enough to take the win. There was some good competition with Chris Leonard, Andrew Calley, and Ryan Strawbridge, so I just had to go out there, run my own race. I took Chris to the line, outkicked him, and it was just a good race. I took the gold at the Hawk Champs and Hawk League All-Star, so I'm just proud of it.
The girls hockey team looks to clinch their playoff hopes this week. Coming off a 6-4 win at home against Walpole, the girls took on Ursuline Academy on Wednesday. They ran Ursuline out of the building in an 8-0 win. The win was the momentum push that they needed heading into their final games of the regular season. Currently sitting at a record of 12-4, they look to finish off their season with 3 straight home games, followed by a trip down to Troy Kent Arena in Dennis, where they will take on Dennis Yarmouth to close out their regular season. The girls' senior night is tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Foxborough Sports Center. They will take on another tough opponent in the Andover squad. Make sure you get out there and support them as they ramp up going into the playoffs.
So last night we got our 11th win of the season against Walpole, which was a big win for us, not only for the state, but also as a team. It was a tough game, but we pulled 2 points out of it, so that's all that matters.
And Wednesday we play Ursuline, and Saturdays are our senior night, and we'll be playing Andover. So
After the boys, so be sure to be there.
The boys hockey team continues to stay positive in the back half of their season as they currently sit with a record of 6-7-2 with 6 games left to play. If they win out, they have a strong chance to make the state tournament. They fell to Bridgewater Raynham 3-2 in overtime last Saturday in a game that slipped away from the Warriors in the final period. But they came back and dismantled Oliver Ames on Wednesday night as they outshot the Tigers 46-6, winning 3-0 in dominant fashion. They have senior night this Saturday night at 5 p.m. versus Lexington, in what will be a huge game for the boys' record and playoff hopes. They look to sweep this week and go into the final few weeks of their regular season with some big energy, striving to finish with their winning record and earn a much-wanted playoff berth.
We have Lexington on Saturday night. We need to win that game. We were looking to get to 500 by the end of this week, and then build off that and hopefully make a push for the tournament, because we've every time we kind of start making a push, we always lay an egg and lose a game. So we gotta build on that and keep pushing and just win multiple games and string some good games together to make the tournament.
We have our senior night tomorrow against Lexington. Should be a good game. We're looking to take our record to 500 and move on from there. We got a tough schedule ahead, so this will be a big win for us.
Bruins forward Brad Marchand has been suspended for 6 games without pay for roughing and high-sticking Pittsburgh Penguins goaltender Tristan Jarry during their game in Boston on Tuesday night. This is the longest suspension for Marchand, who has been suspended for 5 games on 2 prior occasions this season. He's also been fined 5 times and has forfeited over $1.4 million in salary from his previous fines and suspensions this year. Coach Bruce Cassidy said Marchand has, quote, lost his discipline. We'll see if this tune-up can tone him down. And on Wednesday, Bruins fans got some more bad news. Here's Kpsn's analyst Max Salvatore on the departure of Tuukka Rask.
Wednesday was a sad day for Boston, as longtime Bruins goaltender Tuukka Rask announced his retirement after battling rehab from his injury. The 2-time All-Star, 2014 Vezina Trophy winner, and the Bruins' all-time leader in wins was never able to win a cup as a starting goalie. This led to the blame being placed on him by fans, when in reality, it's the exact opposite. The Bruins don't get to the finals in 2013 if Rask wasn't amazing in the first round. Then they had a 2-1 series lead in the finals, but Rask did give up 6 goals in Game 4, but the Bruins never won another game. Chicago scored 2 goals in 13 seconds thanks to the defense, and the rest was history. However, 2019 is worse. The Bruins again blew a 2-1 lead in the finals, then forced a Game 7 on home ice, where they scored just 1 goal coming late in the third period. Rask had a .934 save percentage and allowed just 2 goals a game throughout the playoffs, but again, the Bruins choked. While his coaches and teammates loved him, Bruins fans constantly gave Rask a hard time, but it was never truly his fault. He gave the team everything he had, and hopefully now the fans can appreciate the Hall of Fame goaltender and just how great he was. Only 2 members of the 2011 Stanley Cup team now remain, and this is just the start of the downfall for the Bruins that we know.
The Super Bowl is 2 days away, and there's going to be some serious talent showcased on both sidelines this Sunday. For the Bengals, their playoff MVP has been Joe Burrow. He's put up some incredible numbers with a very subpar offensive line. Over the course of 3 playoff games, Burrow completed 75 of his 109 passing attempts for 842 yards, 4 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions, despite being sacked 12 times. Joe's had a lot of setbacks in his career, especially after tearing his ACL and MCL in Week 11 of his rookie season. No one ever expected that the Bengals would be Super Bowl contenders this year. Now on Sunday, Joe Burrow has a chance to further prove that he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. For the Rams, wide receiver Cooper Kupp has had one of the greatest receiving seasons of all time, putting up 145 catches for 1,947 yards, a record that stands only behind Detroit Lions great Calvin Johnson. Kupp also received the Triple Crown for receiving this year, as he leads the league in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns, being the first wide receiver to do so since Steve Smith in 2005. This matchup has all the components to make for a great game this Sunday.
I think the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. I think even though the Rams, they got the defense they do and Von Miller, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Joe Burrow. I think he's just the leader that the Bengals need, and I think they're going to be the team that takes it at the end of the day. So go Bengals for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, going to Super Bowl. I'm going to agree with the favorite Rams here. I think they just got the size up front, get after Joe Burrow again. I don't think they're going to let him get away, and even if they do, they got Ramsey to lock down Jamar. They got a good secondary, unlike the Chiefs. And the Chiefs coaching was just terrible in that game. I mean, that's just why Andy Reid's a fraud. Got completely shut down, didn't change their systems, didn't run the ball. The Rams can run the ball, so if they get up a lead, they can play close. I mean, they just beat Tom Brady, so I mean, who can't they beat?
I think it's going to be a close Super Bowl. I mean, I've had Matthew Stafford on my fantasy team this year. I think he's been having a pretty good season with the Rams, so I think the Rams are looking pretty strong. But at the same time, Joe Burrow, I mean, he's had an amazing year. Bengals itself had an amazing year, so I think the Bengals are going to come out on top.
We wish all of our Warrior athletes an exciting weekend in their competitions as well, and we hope that you have a very enjoyable and safe Super Bowl weekend. We will be back here next week with all the updates.